Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everybody. I know I've been missing. I've been getting my mind together. And I've been thinking about a few things. Well, I have been thinking about them, but I've done 2 podcasts outside of this YouTube channel. And I've been doing my podcast more because it's more quieter. The videos take up space on my phone. And I be wanting to say so much. So I do it in my podcast. And my last 2 podcasts was about living in the streets and education. I've thought about them because lately there's been a lot of Jeezy versus Gucci, and they did they verses and things. People said what they said, which it really is not a beef. Well, it's a beef between them two, but you can see growth in one of them. And I had to explain in my podcast that we are a product of our environment. Sometimes when a person is beefing with someone else, that anger and that hatred don't just go away. It may not be serious to one, but it may be very serious to the other. Everybody take things different. So you can't say how one should heal. It's all in the part of that person being mature and finding themselves first. Now it could be a bigger issue between the two of them where one can't let go. As I explained in my podcast, sometimes we be so angry and we be lacking something that we don't understand the anger and aggression we have. We just be so fixated on getting that person back. Now, crazy thing about that is a lot of the beefs that go on be nonsense. And yeah, like I said, it may be more serious to one person than it is the other. One may not realize how small it is until one has lost too much. Being that I am a product of my environment, and the things we had didn't come easy, and the anger I had when I was younger, and the cliques I chose to run with, and the fighting I chose to do, it wasn't towards the people I was doing it with. It just was like, it was my way of releasing my anger from what I've gone through or where I came from. It's not an excuse, but at that time when I was younger, that was all the excuse I needed to do it. Now, I understand that Jeezy and Gucci are well off in life. Sometimes money don't change you, and money can't fix your problems. Sometimes money makes the beef or the problem worse than what it really was. And because of that, that's why you get certain things like the gangs in the streets, or why they be retaliating so much, or why they can't let you go, as we say. That's pretty much why. So with me doing that podcast, it made me realize like our education system was built against us. Like, we don't hold our kids to a different standard. We give them bare minimum. We don't require them to have anything besides what the school teaches them. An A in school is enough for us, which it should be for some if their kids is exceeding more than their expectations. But sometimes it's not enough because of how our school systems is set up. I am from Detroit. I had the pleasure to go to school in Mount Clemens. Now, and Mount Clemens is majority white. It doesn't matter, but the education was different. Like their grading systems was different. When I was out there, I averaged at a C, maybe a B. But I learned things like dissecting animals in 5th grade, how to do sign language. I learned a lot through social studies. I learned a lot through science. And the things, like I said, the things we learned out there was way different. I never dissected anything in Detroit public schools. We never had to. I never learned sign language. I never had to take it serious because they didn't give us sign language. They tried to teach us Spanish, but no one took that serious. And with that is why I talk about education, because I now hold my kids to a different standard than when I was coming up. These kids nowadays do not write in cursive. They don't even require them to learn how to write in cursive. I require mine to. Even at 13 and 12, my daughter and my brother. I'm starting to teach them how to drive because we don't learn how to drive until we're teenagers and we're off into stealing cars, or we grown into buying our own car. Some of us have privileged parents where they take that time out their lives to have a car to teach us how to drive. Most of us don't. So with that, we learn on our own. To me, that is part of education. That is the essential things we need to go through life. We need to learn how to have a car so we can get around, so we can go to work, so we can make money, so we can be productive. We need to learn, I feel like, a different language, because in my world, I make my kids, I'm telling my kids they have to learn a language, a different language outside of English before they make it to the 11th grade. Because of that, I require them to put more effort into that, because 2 of them want to travel, but I want all of them to be on the same level. One might want to learn a different language than the other, because my 5-year-old teaches himself Japanese, which is one of the hardest languages to learn. But he's picking up on small words like hello, goodbye, thank you, you're welcome. And as I told them, at some point, I want them to only talk to me in their second language. That way I can pick up on it. I could talk fluent with them. I could be able to communicate with them outside of English. So if we out in public and we want to say something we don't want no one else to know, we could speak in that other language. When I was younger, I wanted to speak Japanese. I never put forth that effort to learn because I was told it was the hardest language to learn. When I see celebrities and their children always know more than one language at a very young age. I've watched many videos of Cardi B daughter, and she's speaking fluent Spanish with her mother because that's what her mother is from, and she know English because that's what her father know. And she's only a baby. She's like 3, not even 2. Well, she might be 2. She may be 2 or 3, but still she's small. She know 2 languages. I want that for my kids because we don't hold our kids to that standard. They call it a bilingual language because it's not our first language, and I want my kids to know that. I don't want my kids to go out here average. I want them to be different. So yes, I put different things in their path. I put the things that they're not teaching our children in their path, because those are the things that's going to matter. We always compare our kids to white kids, while we're not privileged enough to have their education, but we don't put forth that effort to teach them the same things those kids are learning. It's not our fault that we were conditioned like that. But we can break that chain and put it in our kids. I am very grateful to know a couple of parents that are black who have very brilliant kids who are doing excellent things with themselves. I happen to know a person that has enough kids to say that she has 7 kids, I'll say. And out of her 7 kids, 5 of them, 6 I believe now. Well, she has 1 coming out of high school this year. But 5 are already graduated. 1 is off into college. Scholarship. Doing great things. She has 1 coming out of high school with scholarships, already admitted into a college. Doing great things. That is what I want for my children. Because when I sat down and I talked to her and I asked her what it was, she said education. And ever since she told me that, I've always stuck to it. Even recently, sitting down with her, asking her how did she get 5 children out of high school. She don't hold them to the standard of normal. She let them know that they the shit and that they supposed to be the shit to themselves. Excuse my friend. She let them know that average is not acceptable. They must give they all. It's okay not to give they all, but don't complain about it. That is what I am doing to my kids. I'm not putting them under pressure, but I am allowing them to be above average. I am great with whatever they decide to do. I am happy for them. Now, to be impressed, it's for them to do the above normal. And yeah, I got a different standard than normal parents for my children. I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to keep pushing them. I'm not going to over-exhaust my children. I'm not going to overwork my children, but they will have that standard. With that being said, because I am a wonderful parent and I have to go to work now because I work afternoons. I hope you guys are having a positive day. I hope that this message to those gets out in the right way. And I will be seeing you guys later.